they're going to buy every single family home in America.
The WEF telling us that we will own nothing and be happy. Could that be happening right at this very moment? Well, here's RFK Jr. again explaining what's happening with housing right now in America.
You're paying maybe 3% interest. Now you're paying 7% interest. The house is 3 or 4 or 5 times expensive, and there's no way. And then everybody has this experience of knowing somebody who is about to buy a house, and then somebody comes in just before they go into escrow. Somebody comes in with a cash offer and snatches it out from under them. And this is just now a ubiquitous experience. And what's happening is not only are we suffering inflation from the constant wars, $8 trillion on war, $8 trillion that we didn't have on regime change wars since 2002. We're also, you have these 3 giant companies, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, who all own each other. BlackRock has $10 trillion under management.
These are all private equity companies?
Yeah, the biggest companies in the world. And they own 88% of the S&P 500. Those 3 companies, they own 88% of the S&P 500. So they already own everything. And now they've decided they're going to buy every single family home in America. So they're on track now to own the corporate control of 60% of the single family homes in America within 6 years.
So you're saying, so when somebody comes in with a cash offer, it's usually from...
it's an LLC with some ambiguous name.
A shell corp.
Right. That if you follow the breadcrumbs,
it'll go back to,
it goes to BlackRock,
Vanguard, State Street.
Okay, so really think about this for a second. They're telling us, and have been telling us for years, you will own nothing and be happy. Now think about what's going on with interest rates right now. So before Biden, during the Trump years, and even before that, and after the housing bubble, we had a nice, about a decade of extremely low interest rates. And what happens when there are low interest rates? When you can borrow money cheaply, let's say at 2 or 2.5%, well, then you can put, say, 20% down on a house, and you pay just a little bit of interest each month. And then, in essence, and I really like this, when I've bought houses over the years, I kind of like paying my mortgage, because when you have a low interest rate, in essence, you're paying yourself. Every month, that money is going back into your house, and you're paying the bank a little something for the honor, the favor of lending you the money. Now, the banks have gone from 2.5, 3% interest rates. Now we have interest rates that are around 9%. So the average person now, if every month you have to pay 9% on that mortgage, now you're paying an awful lot, and suddenly you can't get that mortgage, you can't buy that house, and then what happens? You have to end up renting. Renting, you're getting no equity, you're not building wealth over time. Owning something, owning a house or owning a car, but owning property, really, it's one of the real things that I think I did right in my life financially to get things in order, like owning a house. Oh, I own a physical thing and I'm paying myself every month. But now if you're the average person, you can't do that. And so you can see the connection between, if the banks raise interest rates high enough, the average person is like, I can't take out the loan because otherwise I'm just paying the bank every month. It's a crazy amount of money. And then BlackRock and Vanguard and these other companies come in with these shell companies, these LLCs that are you just don't know who they are, and they just buy the house for cash. And now why would they buy the house for cash? Either they sit there and they let it be empty, which happens, or they then allow it to be rented. Now, there's nothing wrong with renting in and of itself. We've all rented, and at the early part of your life, renting before you've accumulated a little cash is fine. But it's sort of, if you always stay as a renter, you can kind of never get into the game. So you see how the banks are connected to exactly what BlackRock is doing.